This video will assist in training you to fill a volunteer role at Paddle Victoria Marathon events. We would like to thank you for volunteering your time. PV Marathon believes that safe and efficient management of events requires officials and volunteers to have trained in advance for the roles that they fill in events. Both race officials and volunteers are important to the successful running of events. The distinction for our purposes is that officials are the designated positions on the competition committee, the safety officer and technical officer roles, while volunteers fill other roles essential to the operation of events. These are listed in the organisation chart.
Radio communication is vital during a race to ensure the safety of paddlers and volunteers. Radios are used by race officials and volunteers, the chief official, chief umpire, chief safety officer, turnbuoy and portage officials, timekeeping and safety boat crews. Different types of radios may be used at different events. The operation of radios will be demonstrated at the volunteer briefings. You will also do a radio check, where you switch on the radio, check the battery is charged, ensure that you are on the right channel, this is usually Paddle Vic Channel 1, test each radio and set the volumes. If you're in a safety boat, ensure that the waterproof bags are used and that the volume is loud enough to be heard over the noise of the motor. There are various buttons on the radios. On the top, there is a dial that you can use to change between channels. We are usually on channel 1. On the side, there is an orange and black transmit button. Click the button and pause before you begin to talk to ensure that you are transmitting. The on and off button is on the side, and so are the volume up and down buttons marked with a plus and a minus.
When using the two-way radios, please remember that everyone is listening. Be polite and do not swear. Ensure that you are on the correct channel. This is usually Paddle Victoria Channel 1. Think about what has to be said before speaking. Listen before transmitting so as to not interfere with others already on the air. Keep your messages short and clear as possible. Use short, easily recognisable words. Check for understanding and request confirmation if necessary. When calling another station, state the call sign of the other station first and then identify yourself. For example, Chief Official, this is Safety Boat 1, over. If you are receiving a message, you then respond, Safety Boat 1, this is Chief Official, over. You always first communicate who you are speaking to and then your own name. This grabs the attention of the person who you are speaking to and then tells them who the message is coming from. After this initial communication, you can then communicate your message. It is acceptable practice after initial contact has been made to not repeat your own call sign except for in the closing transmission. For example, Safety Boat 1, this is Chief Official, out.
The role of the pre-race scrutineer is to check that paddlers and craft adhere to safety requirements prior to getting on the water. This role reports to the chief course umpire and takes about 30 minutes during race day. They have the responsibility to call up paddlers in an appropriate order, usually by start number, and check the adherence with safety requirements. Pre-race scrutineering checks the following. They check flotation such as foam is fixed in the boat in the front and the rear, unless the paddler can demonstrate that the boat is foam core construction. If required, they may ask the paddler to demonstrate buoyancy by fully submerging the boat. They must check the paddler is wearing an approved PFD. They check the paddler has a boat number affixed to their craft, and check that the boat has no damage or rough parts that could cause an injury to the competitor, other competitors, or volunteers, such as boat crew upon rescue. They may request paddlers to correct any deficiencies, and they then allow complying boats to proceed through to raft marshalling to get on the water. The role of the post-race scrutineer is to check adherence with specification requirements of the craft. This role is only required for certain championship races, such as the Victorian Marathon Championships or National Championships. They report to the chief course umpire and is only a part-time role on race day, about 30 minutes following each event. They have the responsibility to check the first 4 boats in each race category for adherence to craft specifications, and they advise the chief course umpire of any non-compliance. At post-race scrutineering, you are to ensure that boats are empty of water and have any loose items removed. Remove the boat number and ensure the boat is reasonably dry. Check the length and weight of K and C craft, and then check the length and width of TK craft. These measurements are shown on the table below. You then record the results of these checks and contact the chief course umpire if a boat fails boat control. For boats that fail boat control, ensure that the boat remains at boat control until a determination is made by the competition committee. Provide the completed sheets to the chief course umpire at the end of the event and provide boat numbers to the registration official collecting boat numbers. The role of the raft marshal is to ensure paddlers get on and off the water in an orderly and efficient manner. This is an important task for the efficient running of marathon events in general and for junior sprint and marathon events in particular. This is a key safety checking point so that race organisers know how many paddlers have gotten on the water. They report to the chief course umpire, and it's a part-time role on race day, about 30 minutes for a marathon event and all day for a sprint event. This is occasionally combined with the pre-race scrutineering. The responsibility of the raft marshal is to record all paddlers getting on the water and confirm with the aligner and starter when all boats for a given start are on the water.
On behalf of Paddle Victoria Marathon, we would like to thank you for volunteering to help run this race. Without volunteers, our races would not be possible.